when two things bump or crash into each other, again, we can say it's a collision, okay? When this happens, an energy transfer will occur. Think about this. If you are running down the street without looking and you run into a sign, what will happen? First, the chances are you will stop moving. Sometimes you will bounce off or you will get hurt. What about the sign? The sign may wobble a bit and rattle. Rattle means vibrate. When you hit the sign, of course, you will stop moving. What? You will stop moving. As we said before, a body in motion will keep moving until something stops it, such as the sign. The sign will stop your body from moving forward, okay? Now, remember when we said the amount of kinetic energy an object has will depend on its speed. Again, the speed and the kinetic energy are directly proportional. What's the meaning of directly proportional? It means they are friend. If one of them increased, the other will increase. If one of them decreased, the other will decrease. So, the faster the object travels, the more kinetic energy it has. So, when a speeding object hits another object, it transfers some of its energy to it. What are the forms of energy that will transfer? As the beginning, if we said it's a moving ball hits the goal net. At the beginning, the ball has kinetic energy. It will transfer to the goal net after collision in different forms. One of them is a result of friction. Result of friction. What is the relation between the collision and the friction? As we said, collision when two objects hit each other. Look, they are two objects touching each other. And as we said before in the other concept, when two objects touch each other, there's a type of force will be produced between them, which is the friction force. And an example for the friction, rubbing hands. When you rub your hands in winter, of course, your hands will be warm. There is thermal energy here as a result of friction force. So, as a result of the friction force, the thermal energy will be produced. So, when two objects hit each other, some of the energy will transfer into the other object in the form of heat or thermal energy as a result of friction. Another type of energy, which is light. Sometimes after collision, the fire will be formed. Of course, you could detect the fire using the light of the fire, or the sound of collision, right? So, the energy will transfer in different forms. Thermal energy or heat energy as a result of the friction force produced between the two objects, light energy and sound energy. Thermal, sound, and light. Okay? So, because of their extra energy, fast-moving objects can do more damage than the slow ones. When they hit an object, they will exert more force. This force could smash a car fender, or in some cases, it would damage the car beyond repair. So, if the car increases its speed, the kinetic energy will increase. Again, there is a directly proportional relation between the speed and the kinetic energy. In this case, as we said, if the car increases its speed, its kinetic energy will increase. All this energy will result in a large force being exerted in an accident. So if two cars drive headlong into another, then the forces exerted in the accident depend on the combined speed of both cars. What does it mean? If I have two vehicles, two cars, or one truck and one car collided together, each one has different speed. The force exerted after collision will depend on both speeds, the speed of the truck and the speed of the car. So the damage would be much more severe. So from the previous episode, you have reviewed your data from racing downhill. You know that the objects traveling at faster rate of speed have more kinetic energy. Again, the relation between the speed and the kinetic energy is directly proportional. Now, we have a different experiment. Let's look a little closer at how force can affect both speed and the kinetic energy. Yes, the force has its effect on both speed and the kinetic energy. So, what do we need for this experiment? One, we need modeling clay. Second, a piece of cardboard. And the last thing is a hard surface, looks like a wooden table, for example. What will you do? Number one, roll the ball of clay in your hands, smoothing the sides of it. So you're gonna roll it to smooth the edges of the ball. Then use the cardboard to create a landing platform attached to a hard surface on the ground. Then position the clay ball 1 meter above the platform, which means hold it above the platform 1 meter and lightly open your fingers to drop, not to throw the ball of the clay onto the platform, which means let it fall without pushing it with a more force. Then sketch the drop ball of the clay in the table. Check the clay. Of course, it will become irregular. Then smooth the clay ball again over the repeat the experiment, this time putting force behind the clay ball and throw it at the platform from 1 meter above. Then sketch the result. Now you did effort, there is force, so the clay ball will become more irregular.
تقدر تتابع كل دروسك على تطبيق مدرستنا بلس. مدرستنا، المستقبل يبدأ الآن.